Hey, what's up everyone? This is KJ with Passport Club. I wanted to do a video to kind of give an overview of my experience in Medellin about a week ago. Nothing crazy happened, anything like that. The reason I'm doing the video is because I have received a good amount of questions. Some of the questions are kind of repetitive. Some of the questions are good questions that may be useful to everybody else. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to kind of go over my thoughts. It's kind of going to be a hybrid of my thoughts as a travel agent, but also my thoughts as a tourist. I really don't know where to start. I don't know where to start with this. All right, so one of the big things, I want to cover some basic stuff first, and then I want to get into some of the stuff that a few more people may want to hear about. So let me talk about safety. Safety first. A lot of people ask me if I felt safety. Medellin has a reputation, okay? So this would be my advice to anybody that was to go there. If wherever you're from, whatever country you're from, whatever city you're from, if you're not comfortable moving around in the bad areas within those cities, Medellin is probably not going to be the place for you unless you're comfortable with speaking Spanish. If you're not comfortable speaking Spanish and you don't know how to move around in areas that are not the best within your own country, within your own city, I probably wouldn't consider going there until you are comfortable with moving around. When I say comfortable moving around, knowing how to carry yourself, knowing not how to draw attention to yourself, and more so like being respectful, like to the people, to the environment that you're in. Also, being aware of your surroundings. Like, not saying you have to walk around with your head constantly on a swivel for that purpose, but I'm saying you do need to know who's watching you and be able to pay attention. Also, again, unless you are comfortable moving around or you are fluent in the language, I would say pair up. Go with somebody else, find somebody else that's going. Try to coordinate a time to where it could be you and somebody else in the city at the same time. For your safety as well as their safety, there's always safety in numbers, right? All right, so what was next? Cost. Medellin is not expensive at all. I had some really good food. Now, I keep hearing people tell me need to go to Cali. I heard the food is better in Cali. I don't know. I haven't been to Cali. I heard the food is better in Cartagena. I don't know. I haven't been to Cartagena yet. To me, the food was pretty good. I didn't eat anything that I thought was like, oh, it was bad. And also, I'm a vegetarian, so there was a lot of places that had vegetarian options, or there were vegetarian restaurants. So I didn't have a problem finding food. Again, cost, it's not expensive to stay there. It's not expensive to eat. Almost like every other place, Uber is cheap. I personally did not take the metro. And I'll explain why in a little bit. I didn't take the metro, so I can't even tell you if the metro is good, clean, safe or not. I didn't take the metro at all. I took Uber I took Uber everywhere. Uber was cheap. It's the city. You don't need much money to get to go there to visit. You don't need much money to have a good time there. One of the guys that I was with, I think there was an occurrence where we went down to, I can't remember where we went. Anyway, there was a couple bars on this little street, had umbrellas in the middle of the street, And I think he said that he paid $15. Like, you know, we took turns buying each other drinks and stuff like that. So he bought 3 drinks and it was like $15. And I'm not talking about like beers or anything like that. Like, I had a drink called the penicillin. I felt that I needed that drink because I actually had I had a streetwalker bite me in the ear in the club. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. All right, so I had a drink called penicillin. They had other drinks that probably here in the States would cost anywhere between 10 to 15 bucks a piece. He spent $15 total for all 3 drinks. Cheap. Now, I will say this. Everybody hears that term called gringo prices. If you hang out in an area where there's a lot of like Americans or Europeans, and when I say Americans, I'm including Canadians as well, you're going to pay more for probably whatever it is. If you go to areas where there's more locals, then everything is going to be a lot cheaper. So actually, let me move on to that. All right, so the area where they say a lot of gringos are is Parque Ayers. There's a lot of us all around Parque Ayers. There's a lot of us. It's a club area. There's some restaurants and stuff there too, places to eat. It's a couple blocks. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's cool. Parque Ayers is cool. It's we can come back to that too. All right. So the next thing I would say, Lorales. Lorales seems to be where most locals hang out. I did not see a lot of people that did not look like they were from Colombia in Lorales. I heard that it was kind of dangerous, but I didn't see anything and I didn't hear anything. The street is long, so when you hear Lorales, you're gonna hear La 50 or La 70. That's the street. So that area, that street is long. There's restaurants, there's bars, there's clubs. There's plenty to do there. I went there on a Saturday night. There was a lot of people there. Did not stay long. You will experience a lot of different music. Like, I think I heard some bachata. I heard some reggaeton playing in one spot. It's kind of a variety. I don't know necessarily what to compare it to. I don't want to say it's like Las Vegas Strip or Miami Strip or anything like the South Beach. I don't want to say it's anything like that, but it's a long street with a lot of stuff on it to do. And I don't think that I fully experienced it completely. But like I said, a lot of locals. The food is good. A lot of people just hanging out. What else? Okay, so Parque Ayers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally was overwhelmed. Everything that I filmed for Parque Ayers, that's not even close to some of the stuff that I saw there, some of the stuff that I heard there. And this is probably going to be more so for the fellas. It is literally hard to explain it and put it into words. I personally was overwhelmed. I've been to Brazil. I've been in Dominican Republic. I've been in, a couple different countries in Europe. I've traveled. So traveling is nothing new. But compared to the United States, so depending on why you're going to Medellin, your experience is going to be different. If you're going there as a tourist to see all the stuff that Colombia has to offer, I would not say that's necessarily a tourist spot. I would say that Medellin is a nightlife spot. You do have Comuna 13. You have some of the surrounding areas to go visit, coffee farms and stuff like that. You can get a bit of like the historical stuff, but if you're going there as like say a tourist and you're expecting something like Rome or Barcelona or England or like Japan, Tokyo, it's not going to give you that tourist type feel. If you're going there to party, hell yeah. It is definitely a place worth going to party if you go to the right areas. But again, you always got to keep in mind your safety, because there's a lot of stuff that does happen to people there. So conduct yourself accordingly while you're there. If you're going there to, I will say, date or for other reasons, again, it is overwhelming. It is overwhelming in a sense because, okay, so I grew up here in the United States. I'm a United States citizen. I've been to Miami, I've been to Vegas, I live in Atlanta. So I've been to the clubs. I spent most of my 20s clubbing and partying and doing all that stuff. So we live in a country to where, for a guy, you have to rely on your game, or your mouthpiece, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think you need that in Medellin. Like I said, it is literally overwhelming. The same way that females feel when they're walking through a club and they're having somebody pull on their arm, it's the same thing in reverse. Like, it is literally the same thing. And the crazy thing about it is not, so when I say a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna say 5 is legitimately average. 5 is average. You're not having 2s and 3s pull on your arm. You're having 7 to 9s, like, actively trying to talk to you. If you walk down the street, go into a restaurant, like, they're looking. And so, of course, you know, I'm dark skinned, African descent, like, and I'm from America, so I stand out there. So I get it. You know, there's a lot of folks that's going to say, oh, well, they're looking at you because they see money or blah, blah, blah. I mean, to be honest with you, that's no different in the United States. Like, if you have money here in the United States, you're making $100,000 or more in the United States, you drive a nice car, you go into the club, you go into VIP, whatnot, like, think about how many girls are trying to get to where you're at, or they want to take a picture with your car because you have a nice car, or it's the whole fact of, like, you can provide, right? So yeah, it's no different. It's just the fact that they don't have a problem approaching. They don't have a problem letting you know that they're interested. And that's just not a Colombian thing. Like, I experienced that in Brazil. I experienced that in a few other countries as well. But in Medellin, bro, they're aggressive. Like, they are aggressive. That part, I'm still, like, it's a week and a half later, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, they're aggressive. So I'm gonna leave that part, like, at that, because I don't want to get into no details or stories or anything like that. But like I said, Medellin, it is a great place to go. It is a great place to experience. The food is good. It's not expensive or anything like that. And as far as nightlife, you will have a good time. Partner up with somebody, go there, have a good time. Be aware of your surroundings. If you have any questions outside of what I just discussed, hit me up on IG, Passport Club 18. And I'll answer your questions the best that I can as far as my experience. Would I go back? Yeah, I would go back. I want to go to Cartagena first because I want to be able to compare. I can definitely compare between Rio and Dominican Republic based on what you're interested in. If we're talking about between, you know, some other countries, I can compare them as well. But Medellin was a different beast. Like I said, I've never experienced anything like that. I heard Thailand is similar. I don't know, haven't been there yet. Going there for New Year's, and then I can speak on that. But like I said, outside of that, hit me up if you have any questions. Safe travels, everybody.